The WNBA offseason is rarely known for earth-shattering trades, yet, here we are. The Indiana Fever shook the league's foundations with a trade that sent shockwaves across the basketball world. NaLyssa Smith, the former number 2 overall pick, is on the move. The Indiana Fever shipped her to the Dallas Wings. In return, they receive veteran guard Sophie Cunningham. This trade is more than just a swap of players. It signals a dramatic shift in philosophy for the Indiana Fever. For NaLyssa Smith, it marks a crossroads in her young career. The question on everyone's mind, who won this trade? And what does it mean for the future of both franchises? NaLyssa Smith entered the league amidst sky-high expectations. As a standout player from Baylor, she was known for her incredible athleticism, scoring ability, and defensive prowess. Fans and analysts alike were eager to see how her game would translate to the professional level. The second overall pick in the 2022 draft, Smith was deemed a franchise cornerstone. The Indiana Fever saw her as a key piece in their rebuilding efforts, hoping she would lead them back to prominence. Her rookie season showcased that potential. She quickly adapted to the pace and physicality of the WNBA, earning praise for her versatility and work ethic. She averaged a respectable 13 points and 8 rebounds, flashing the skills that made her a dominant force at Baylor. Her performances were a bright spot in an otherwise challenging season for the Fever. But then came 2024. Expectations were high, and many believed Smith would take the next step in her development. Smith's sophomore season didn't go as planned. The pressure seemed to mount, and her performance began to suffer. Her scoring dipped, her shooting percentages plummeted, and her defense left much to be desired. The once promising star was now struggling to find her footing. Whispers of discontent began to surface. Rumors swirled about her dissatisfaction with her role on the team, and potential clashes with the coaching staff. Was Smith unhappy with her role? Did she feel stifled by the system in place? These questions loomed large as the season progressed. Did she clash with the coaching staff? Reports of disagreements and a lack of chemistry began to emerge, painting a picture of a fractured relationship. Whatever the reason, Smith's sophomore slump set the stage for a dramatic exit from Indiana. The once promising partnership had soured, leading to a trade that shocked many. The trade to Dallas comes as both a shock and a relief. For Smith, it represents a chance to start anew, to rebuild her confidence and prove her doubters wrong. It's a chance for a fresh start, a new opportunity to recapture the magic that made her one of the most coveted prospects in recent memory. With the Dallas Wings, Smith has the opportunity to redefine her career and show the world that her story is far from over. The Indiana Fever are at a crossroads. Years of rebuilding have yielded a young, talented core. Caitlin Clark, last year's #1 pick, has quickly blossomed into a superstar. Aaliyah Boston, the rock in the paint, forms a formidable duo. Kelsey Mitchell provides scoring punch off the bench. Yet something was missing. The Fever lacked a certain edge, a veteran presence to guide this young team. Their offense, while explosive at times, lacked consistency. Defensively, they were porous, often out-hustled and out-muscled. The NaLyssa Smith experiment had run its course. It was time for a change. The Fever needed to shake things up. They needed a player who could complement their young core, someone who could provide leadership, toughness, and a winning mentality. Sophie Cunningham is not a flashy name. She doesn't have the star power that makes headlines or the kind of game that fills up highlight reels. But what she lacks in flash, she more than makes up for in substance. She's not going to drop 30 points a night or single-handedly take over games. Instead, she excels in the less glamorous aspects of the game, the ones that often go unnoticed but are crucial for a team's success. But she is a winner. Her track record speaks for itself, with multiple championships and accolades that underscore her ability to contribute to winning teams. A proven veteran with a championship pedigree, Cunningham brings a much-needed dose of experience and grit to a young Fever team. Her presence alone can elevate the team's morale and performance. Her game is all about hustle, defense, and timely shooting. She dives for loose balls, takes charges, and does the dirty work that often goes unrecognized but is essential for winning. She's a career 38% three-point shooter, a statistic that makes her a constant threat from beyond the arc. Her ability to stretch the floor opens up driving lanes for her teammates, a valuable weapon in today's pace-and-space NBA. In a league that increasingly values three-point shooting, Cunningham's skill set is more relevant than ever. But more than that, she's a leader, both on and off the court. Her vocal presence and willingness to guide younger players make her an invaluable asset. A vocal presence on the court who isn't afraid to hold her teammates accountable. She sets high standards and expects everyone to meet them, fostering a culture of accountability. On paper, Cunningham seems like a perfect fit for the Fever. She brings exactly what the team needs: experience, toughness, and a reliable shooting touch. She addresses their needs for perimeter shooting, toughness, and veteran leadership. Yet questions remain. Can she adapt to a new system and new teammates quickly enough to make an immediate impact? Can she mesh with the existing core? Building chemistry takes time, and the Fever will need her to integrate seamlessly to maximize their potential. And will her impact be enough to elevate the Fever to contender status? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Sophie Cunningham's addition to the team brings hope and excitement for the future. Cunningham, the protector Caitlin Clark, needs. One of the biggest concerns surrounding the Fever has been the lack of protection for their young star, Caitlin Clark. Despite her incredible talent and undeniable impact on the court, Clark has often found herself on the receiving end of aggressive plays and hard fouls. Opposing teams have made it a point to target her, trying to wear her down physically and mentally. This relentless pressure has not only affected her performance but also raised concerns about her long-term health and well-being. Opposing teams have targeted her relentlessly, trying to wear her down physically. Every game, Clark faces double teams, hard screens, and physical play designed to disrupt her rhythm. It's a testament to her skill and resilience that she continues to perform at such a high level despite these challenges. However, the need for a protective presence on the court has never been more apparent. The Fever needed someone who could have her back, a player who wouldn't back down from a challenge. Enter Sophie Cunningham. Known for her toughness and no-nonsense demeanor, Cunningham brings a much-needed edge to the Fever. Her arrival signals a new era of protection and support for Caitlin Clark. Cunningham's presence on the court is like a shield, ready to absorb the physicality and intensity that opponents bring. Known for her toughness and no-nonsense demeanor, Cunningham brings a much-needed edge to the Fever. She's a player who thrives in high-pressure situations and isn't afraid to get her hands dirty. Her defensive prowess and physical style of play make her the perfect protector for Clark. Cunningham's ability to set hard screens, box out opponents, and challenge anyone who dares to get too close to her teammates is invaluable. She's not afraid to get physical, to set hard screens, or to mix it up in the paint. Her presence alone can deter opponents from taking liberties with Clark. Cunningham's willingness to do the dirty work allows Clark to focus on what she does best: scoring, playmaking, and leading the team. This dynamic duo has the potential to change the landscape of the Fever's gameplay. With Cunningham on board, Caitlin Clark can finally breathe a sigh of relief. She knows she has a teammate who will stand up for her, who will make opposing guards think twice before taking liberties with the Fever's franchise player. This newfound sense of security can elevate Clark's game to new heights, allowing her to play with more freedom and confidence. She has a teammate who will stand up for her, who will make opposing guards think twice before taking liberties with the Fever's franchise player. The addition of Sophie Cunningham is not just about adding another player to the roster. It's about creating a culture of toughness and resilience. It's about sending a message to the rest of the league that the Fever will not be pushed around. With Cunningham by her side, Caitlin Clark is poised to lead the Fever to new heights. Smith's exit bridge burned. NaLyssa Smith's exit from Indiana wasn't exactly amicable. Her social media activity in the wake of the trade spoke volumes. Changing her Instagram bio to read, "Dallas believes in me," felt like a not-so-subtle jab at her former team. While Smith is entitled to her feelings, her public reaction rubbed many the wrong way. Some analysts questioned her professionalism, suggesting that burning bridges is never a wise move, especially in a league as small as the WNBA. Whether fair or not, Smith's exit has cast a shadow over her time in Indiana. It remains to be seen if she can live up to her potential in Dallas. One thing is certain: bridges have been burned, and it's unclear if they can ever be rebuilt. Fans and analysts react cheers and jeers. The reaction to the NaLyssa Smith trade has been mixed, to say the least. Some fans are thrilled to see Smith go, citing her inconsistency and perceived attitude problems. Others lament the loss of a young talent, questioning whether the Fever received equal value in return. Analysts are equally divided. Some applaud the Fever for shaking things up, acquiring a proven veteran in Sophie Cunningham. Others believe the Fever may have given up on Smith too soon, wondering if a change of scenery was all she needed to unlock her potential. Only time will tell who won this trade. One thing is for sure: the NaLyssa Smith saga will continue to be a hot topic of conversation throughout the WNBA. The future is now for the Indiana Fever. With the NaLyssa Smith chapter closed, the Indiana Fever are looking ahead. The arrival of Sophie Cunningham signals a win-now mentality. The Fever believe they have the pieces in place to compete for a championship, and Cunningham's experience and leadership are seen as vital to their success. The pressure is on. Caitlin Clark is only getting better. Aaliyah Boston is a double-double machine. Kelsey Mitchell is a bona fide scorer. The Fever have no excuses. The Eastern Conference is up for grabs, and the Fever are ready to make their move. The future is now. The Fever are ready to take the next step. A new chapter for NaLyssa Smith. Traded from the only WNBA team she's ever known, NaLyssa Smith finds herself at a crossroads. The Dallas Wings offer a fresh start, a chance to prove her doubters wrong, but it won't be easy. Smith needs to regain her confidence, her swagger, the belief that made her one of the most feared scorers in college basketball. The talent is there. The potential is undeniable. But potential only gets you so far. Smith needs to put it all together, to silence the critics, and justify the hype that surrounded her arrival in the league. Will this trade be the wake-up call NaLyssa Smith needs? Only time will tell. One thing is certain. The next chapter of her career promises to be fascinating.